And welcome everyone to the Circle of Eight podcast top 5 picks of the week. The host of TV is one out to see here with my brother, mi hermano from another mother. He is the calluses of all calluses, but he is the switchblade that will switch you up and just because you know why? Because he is MGC.
And it is still my era.
And it's still his era, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. It is MGC era. It's a decade of the Switchblade MGC. That's for sure. That is for sure. That's right. And today we're here, ladies and gentlemen, to the top 5. Today's top 5 in honorary of Takeover 36. We are doing top 5 Takeover matches. Man, this is a tough one.
Well, Ivan, do you wanna give our audience a taste of the rock paper scissors again?
Let's do rock paper scissors again. Let's see if we can do this.
Just because it's just two of us, it's a duel. It's one-on-one with the one-on-one with the great one. All right, ready? Rock paper. I went rock. Okay, again.
All right, you got me.
I got this round 2 out of 3. It has to be 2 out of 3.
Okay, here we go. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you got it? Okay, one more.
One more. 1, 2. Okay, my bad. I fucked up. Let's count it. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, paper. One more. You got me. Right. So I guess the winner decides if they want to go first or not.
I'll save you best for last, brother, because we got to hear what you got to say last. But I'll go first right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is a tough list because there's so many phenomenal, incredible takeover matches that everyone is like, oh my God. It's hard. It's hard to decide which is the best one. But these are the ones that I've chosen that I could watch over and over again. Not in Peacock, unfortunately. Fucking Peacock. But it is what it is, though.
Watch it on other legal places.
Wink, wink. Wink, wink. That's right. So let me start it off then. My number 5 will be Cesaro, Sami Zayn. That one I did enjoy.
Sami Zayn around by the legs.
Oh my God. I think that was for the tournament. I think for the number 1 contendership against Neville at the time. But I enjoyed that takeover match. Man, just like it's the reminiscences of PWG Ring of Honor, Claudio Castagnoli versus Ole. That's El Generico. That's right. You know, Sami Zayn denies it that that's not him, but it is you. We already know. Come on, bro. Stop denying yourself. But that match, if you go back, if you have Peacock or the network in Europe, all our audio platform listeners listening as well, go back and look at that match. That match is a great storytelling from top to bottom. And, of course, Sami won the match, but it was incredible. And this is at its peak of where both of them were at the time before they even went to the main roster. So, I mean, that was a bang match. Number 4, Quattro.
4 horsemen.
4 horsemen, that's right. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, baby.
Baby.
Philly 2008 takeover. Philly 2018, excuse me. My apologies. Way back. What's wrong with me? But yes, that match. Jesus. I mean, just back and forth, super kick after super kick after super kick after Canadian Destroyer after Canadian Destroyer. But
Panama Sunrise.
Panama Sunrise, yeah, exactly. Panama Sunrise. And I love it. That match was insane and it was epic to see. And that trilogy itself tells it all. I mean, whenever you book Adam Cole or Gargano, they are the real takeovers. Like you call Shawn Michaels Mr. WrestleMania, these two are the real Mr. Takeovers.
Mr. Takeover.
Exactly. Mr. Takeover. That's right. Because these two, they tear down the house. That is for sure. My number 3, and I know people are going to be like, what? But if you really pay attention to this match, it's a great underdog storytelling. And this is Takeover 2016. And this is the Revival versus American Alpha. If you go back to that match, Jesus, what a storytelling.
I watched it. American Alpha, I didn't get to know the team that well, but when I watched it, just because it was recommended, those guys look huge.
Yeah.
They're big dudes.
I mean, yeah, you had Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. I mean, they were an incredible tag team. I don't know why they split them up when the whole brand split happened when we went to the main roster. Jordan. You know, the whole, oh my God. You know how Vince is. He doesn't like tag teams. He does not love tag teams. He splits them up. Gable went to SmackDown. Jason Jordan went to Raw, became Kurt Angle's son. Oh my God, his illegitimate bastard son, and like, oh my God. But I mean, I do feel sorry for Jason Jordan because the neck injury, he can't wrestle any longer. He had a forced retirement, so we're praying to him that he gets back in the ring soon. And the same injury happened to him like with Edge and what Paige had. So let's wish him the best, hopefully. So, but that match itself, you want to talk about tag team? If you're forming a tag team for all you upcoming tag team wrestlers that wants to become a tag team in the independent circuit, watch that match. That match itself is an instant classic. Tells you a great storytelling, underdog storytelling, and that one I would highly recommend for you to watch because that was the ending was just it brought a tear in my eye. Tear in my eye. Woo! Woo! My number 2. This is my favorite because been so many years and dying to see him in the United States, and he finally made it. And he wrestled one of the top ones that I really enjoyed, and that is, of course, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn at Takeover Brooklyn 2015. Takeover Dallas 2016. My apologies. Yes. Come on! Oh my God! Just the crowd was so electric. Like, it gave me goosebumps right now. I was like, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, it just gave me like the electricity of the crowd. Where Nakamura, you could tell Nakamura was like, yeah, he was loving it, and Sammy too. And then, just the match back and forth. Sammy took those. Oh my God, those knee shots into the head and the chest, and then the kicks. Oh, then the Kinshasa, he sold it perfect. It was just incredible.
This is where they learn to speak to each other non-verbally.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell them, Matt. Tell them how that works. Explain to the people into the audio platform.
Where that whole artist storyline started between Sami Zayn and Nakamura. It's like, yeah, Nakamura speaks to me in a language only me and him can understand.
Absolutely. And that match, it brought me to the edge of my seats, and I'm like, we thought Sami was going to take it. I mean, I'm not saying that but I'm saying for a minute, I'm like, oh shit, he might beat Nakamura, but we all knew Nakamura was going to win. But this was a great debut for Nakamura in NXT, and his career went all off in NXT. Not to talk about the main roster, I don't want to talk about that, but NXT overall, Nakamura knocked it off the park with Sami. That was Sami's last match, and that's when he left. He went to the main roster after that. So that's 2 Sami references, So Sami has a great history in NXT, man. 2. So. And my number 1.
I actually have a drum here.
There you go. Awesome. And that's, of course, it's been talked about for about a decade now. Well, about to be a decade almost. I mean, this is Sasha Banks, Bayley, Takeover Brooklyn 2015. That match, those 2 women stole the show. Like, it was just, wow. That's another great underdog storytelling with Sasha taking advantage of her hand and just smashing it. And then just, she was fighting back like that. That's your, I know I might get shitted for this, but this is like your Hogan and Savage WrestleMania 4 match.
Oh, there you go.
If you really think about it, right? Like, it kind of like that. Like, was it 4? No, WrestleMania 5, my apologies. WrestleMania 5, Hogan and Savage, yeah. When,
who's in each role, though, so I could be kind of sure?
I could say that even though Bayley's a Savage fan, but I know, like, her hulking back up, coming back, You know,
Yeah, pulling up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pulling up. You know, and Macho was the one really taking over. You know, majority of time of the match. Like Sasha was taking majority of the match over, and then till the end, Bailey came back, and then just fucking did the Bailey to Bailey, and then that was it. So I can reference that. I mean, at least I know that.
Hogan's was mostly like, especially in that WWE run, he was more of he was always the main baby face in all of his matches. Thanks to backstage politics, but that's a whole other. That's a whole other. But he's always the main. So Sasha, like, she was like, I mean, Bailey was during that era of NXT. She was like the main baby face.
Yes.
Like her whole gimmick was like positive energy, advice, and happiness, and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dig it. That's right. And then I have 3 honorable mentions. Like I said, this list is hard, but I'm going based upon what I can see over and over and over. So I'm gonna go with this. My first honorable mention will be again the Revival versus DIY Takeover Toronto. Best out of 3 falls. That match, wow! I like the second one, but I feel that the third one, the final one, best out of 3 falls, knocked it all off. And I think, I don't remember, Matt, but I think that was the one when Ciampa turned on. No, what? No, it wasn't. It was that. No, it wasn't. I thought it was. Never mind. It wasn't. I forgot which. That was later after that. But the thing is that I think this was the first time when they won the tag team titles from the Revival out of the 3 best out of 3 falls. I think I have to go back and look at it again.
DIY was definitely the baby face. The Max is very clear cut. That's why Cornette loves it so much, because it's very, baby heel, very classical era.
Yeah, because that reminds him of the Rock and Express type of pretty much tag team. I could mix them like Rock and Roll Express, a little bit of Rockers.
Yeah.
At that time, I could mix them with that. But that match between those 4 individuals, wow! Like even the whole Toronto-based fans went insane for that match, especially the best out of 3 falls. Second one, and I know this is a recent one, but I enjoyed it because I like the psychology how it was told in the ring of David and Goliath, and that is Walter versus Ciampa, Stand and Deliver. That match, even though it was just recent, but if you go back, I enjoyed it because that is a great storytelling. This match can tell you how to work a big guy and how a big guy can work with a small guy. And this is the one who really could tell you about that. And I liked it. Enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. And last but not least, I'm going to have to go with Johnny Gargano and Andrade. That one. That match. Oh my God. Andrade.
Watch that now. I got to definitely watch that.
You got to watch that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, Gargano and Andrade, bro. Wow. That's another one. And another one. Another one.
Notorious B.I.G. And another one.
And another one.
Bad boy.
That's right. Bad boy for life. But that match was really, really great. I loved it. Andrade is another great storytelling. I think this was when he was barely transitioning more from his New Japan and CMLL type of style.
Lucha Libre.
Yeah, Lucha Libre into the American style. But he went fucking in hardcore on Gargano. Like, the double knees by the post. And just that DDT. Oh, my God. It just looked nasty. But
I love his double moonsault spot. That's always like one of my favorites.
Yes. I love it.
It's like you thought you got away, but I've got another one. That's like the ultimate way when you say, "Oh, why not just move out of the way of the moonsault? Because I could just do another one and another one and another one."
And another one. That's right. But man, yeah, this is my list, brother. This was tough, man. I don't know. I'm curious to hear yours now, but it was tough for me. I don't know how tough it was for you to do this one.
It won't be too much of a sidewinder, but it'll be a bit of a curveball. You guys ready? I'm gonna throw a pitch. Get your bat up. Batter up. Oh, all right. Here we go. So my very first one, I think on my list, I'm gonna go Asuka versus Mickey James in Takeover Toronto as my number 5.
Hell yeah.
I
Oh
definitely,
yeah.
I definitely caught that one. Like I said, I'll be 100% honest with everybody. I wasn't watching a lot of WWE between 2003 to 2018. So I've been excommunicated from the Church of Professional Wrestling for a minute, but occasionally I peeked through the doors to see what was going on, you know. So
Peekaboo.
yeah, a few peekaboos, and one of the peekaboos I saw was Mickey James versus Asuka Takeover Toronto, and it was during Asuka's, her Goldberg undefeated streak, the Asuka streak. This was during the Asuka streak, and I already knew about Mickey James's background, the whole everything with Trish Stratus, and she was a super veteran already by that time. So it's like they brought I was looking at it because I knew who Mickey James was, is that they had to bring in somebody well-known, so good, just to defeat Asuka. And even she couldn't overcome Asuka.
Oh, but that match was like, mwah! I loved it. Shout out to Mickey James.
They weren't, shout out to Mickey James over in NWA now. But I gotta say, you weren't ready for Asuka at that time. Nobody was. Nobody was ready for Asuka. But I'll go in a completely different direction. Number 4, I got another curveball for you, winding up. All right, Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler, Takeover Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
I really love, especially because people would think, oh yeah, like a cute Joshi wrestler versus this MMA girl, she doesn't have a chance, from the shoot point of view. But it was, once again, you were talking about underdog stories. This is another underdog story right here. Kairi Sane hitting that high elbow. When she does the insane elbow, off the top rope, she does it way different. Like you were just talking about Randy Savage. Kairi Sane has the same finisher as Randy Savage, that top rope elbow. But the way she does it, that top rope elbow, it looks like Kairi Sane's being sucked into a portal when she's doing it. Like she went for a whole body free fall. Maybe it's because she could jump a lot higher, and I guess like something with gravity and momentum, and she just has her legs more up. I think Randy Savage is looking right at the target when he's going for it. His is more like a sniper. Kairi Sane's more like a bombing, a dive bomber.
I agree.
And the fact that was and it really sold the move, putting away Shayna Baszler, as mean as she was. And the audience was behind Kairi Sane. So I love that match. She definitely, fought from underneath and overcame the odds. So that was a great, babyface heel, like that scary MMA heel. I mean, you could have done, if it was Ken Shamrock, Shawn Michaels back in the day, or, it could have been and if they could have put egos aside, because back then they couldn't you could see Shayna and Kairi, they're a little bit more humble than those two back then.
Yeah, I agree.
They're willing to put ego aside to create art, to make a great match.
So yeah.
It
did tell a great story. Hey, good analogy, by the way. You know what? I never thought of Shamrock and Michaels. I never thought of that.
Yeah, because you can't really think of too many other MMA guys, like MMA people in WWE. You could probably count them maybe on one or two hands.
Right. Yeah.
There's a few people that cross over later on and then come back. Brock Lesnar, he did it after WWE. So it was Dan Severn, but even then he's not as vocal and in your face as Ken Shamrock was. So that's a great comparison, Ken Shamrock and Shayna Baszler.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So I'm gonna go great minds think alike, Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, baby.
That's right.
He's got something for you. So Adam Cole in this match, especially, this was especially with the way Undisputed Era was, you really wanted kind of an NWO kind of Sting versus Hogan type of psychology behind the match. not in terms of gimmick, but more just, I guess, you've got an outnumbered baby face, and his song was even, before before Do You Know the Way, before he became Sonic Gargano,
Yes.
no, before he became Knuckles Gargano, Do You Know
Yes.
the Way, Ugandan Gargano. He was the this rebel heart, this rebel, like that. When it was that song, I thought that song sounded really cool, and it kind of fit with this, like, he felt more like, the kid versus the big bad gang. It's a Karate Kid almost type of feel too, you know. So, you got more of a scrappy, fighting underdog baby face. Once again, it's that, and he was outnumbered and he overcame the odds. And I think the other thing that kind of added cherry on the cake for the audience was his girlfriend, or I forgot it was fiance at the time, coming out.
Oh, you talking about Britt or you talking about Candace?
Candace.
Oh, Candace, yeah. I would think of her fiance at the time. Yeah, you're right. I think
Yeah, coming out in the ring and then hugging each other after he wins the title.
Yes.
I guess that's kind of like a big like pop for the audience. Everybody gets a lot of love out of that one. But that song kind of just adds to it. That's really like your underdog babyface song, and then Undisputed Era song is more just big and mean. So there's that whole difference. All right. You ready for number 2?
See,
I don't know. I think I'll do a catapult this time, but I gotta hit the castle with my catapult. For audio listeners, I just took a barbecue brush and flipped it like a catapult. So number 2, and this is probably like when I think of NXT Takeover main event, this is the first one that actually pops into my mind anytime people mention it. NXT Takeover London, Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor.
Oh my God, yes. I forgot about that too. Oh, he got me on that one.
And Finn Balor as the demon too.
Yes.
He was the demon for this. And before the match, I think also kind of just added like just the meanness and the kind of, the haunting, it's sending chills down my spine, was kind of them showing them arriving at the airport. Like Finn Balor kind of like, he's more in that babyface role, walking to the airport, holding his bag and wearing his jacket. And then when Samoa Joe gets to the airport, he's wearing that newsboy kind of European assassin hat. You know that hat? He's wearing that hat coming out of the airplane with just the nastiest look on his face. And he just looks like an assassin ready to gun down a whole city, like a gangster, just ready. And just, it sold it so much more. It sent chills down my spine. I'm like, can Samoa Joe come to the ring wearing that and then he could just change into his wrestling clothes? Like have his wrestling clothes. Like he could hold a Tommy gun or something, or come in on a Cadillac and just have like, just mean, that newsboy hat. It's like, oh shit, Samoa Joe. Everybody hide. Everybody hide. That's definitely the look, having that newsboy. I want him to wear that hat more often, and he could carry like some sort of like club or cane with him, And I gotta say, due to recent events, no spoilers, but I guess recent episode of NXT, Samoa Joe, that you got to run and hide, definitely.
That's right.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, baby.
He's probably like my 5th or 6th favorite wrestler of all time, I think, on my list, or 7th. Somewhere, he's in my top 10, that's for sure. Samoa Joe.
Awesome. And then we got the numero uno, drum roll.
Real kid. Just because my real kid's here. So my number 1, for our audio listeners, I actually have a drum kit behind me right here.
Yes.
My number 1, Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And it was Takeover Brooklyn when it happened.
Yes.
Wins that title.
Let me ask you this question. That was the first time they ever faced each other, or was it?
I think it was the first time ever. Because Samoa Joe might have was with Ring of Honor and Noah, but yeah, he never was in a New Japan ring. I looked it up because if I saw Samoa Joe versus Tanahashi or Samoa Joe versus Naito, I would have watched it on repeat. I would have watched those matches repeatedly. You know, I mean, Samoa Joe, I know he's doing stuff in NXT right now, but he's probably the one who I most want to see mixed up with everybody over in Japan and everybody on the independents the most. You know, that's like one of my Christmas list wishes. You know?
Oh yeah.
No, like I said, my dream match is Naito and Samoa Joe, but like this is probably, you know, what one of the next best things to it. Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, the King of Strong Style, and the Samoan Submission Machine. When I first got to know him in TNA as the Samoan Submission Machine, you know, I would have been happy seeing this match anywhere, you know, any promotion. I think as long as they didn't monkey too much around in Nakamura and Samoa Joe's business, because I know those two. By the time those two came to WWE, they're already masters of their art. They could call a match. They're already I'd say those two definitely know more than enough to call their matches. You know, they could have had a great, if this was an Impact for the for the X Division title, that would have been good too. That would have been perfect.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah.
This match could have happened anywhere and it would have been perfect. You know, it could happen in DDT and it still would have been good. It could have happened in outer space and underwater, you know.
And it'd still be good.
Yeah, because as long as you let Samoa Joe do his thing and Shinsuke Nakamura do his thing, it's gonna be good. So I think I'm just gonna keep it to my 5. But if I had an honorable mention, I'd probably include all of the FTR matches, all of the revival matches with DIY, because you know I covered the women's division, the singles, so I might as well go with the tag team too.
Yeah,
you know,
that's very, very true.
I mean, the cruiserweight title wasn't always on NXT, right?
No, it wasn't.
There was a time when it was only either main roster or 205 Live.
Yes,
that's weird.
I know, right? Like, and then now they just transitioned it to NXT now, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, we're just hoping that they don't destroy NXT. You know, we talked about it already probably before. I know you weren't on the show last week because we were busy, but it's just like, let's just hope that they don't destroy it. I love NXT. I think you can speak about for yourself as well that NXT is the pinnacle. It's your like Ring of Honor of WWE.
Yeah,
you know, and then they don't realize that. And even it could be your old school TNA back in the day, like that era, you know, like I'm just loving the talent, the roster. I hate the fact they cut a lot of them off. I mean, it was just especially Bronson Reed and so many others that were great such talents, but I'm hoping that they do not, please.
You know, I mean, outside of kayfabe, I wonder how much William Regal actually controls, because he's a really great he's a great teacher and a great agent. I mean, the world of sports and all his years in WCW, the British world of sports style, the catch as catch can and everything. William Regal kind of seems like a good real life person to run at NXT. I like him more than Triple H, to be honest. He knows, William Regal has the years of experience. He knows what he's doing.
I believe that William Regal is more of a ring general, like in the ring of how to tell a story in the match, and a great scout. Triple H is too. He's a great scout as well, but I think he's I can say Paul Levesque is more the top negotiator.
He's more the businessman.
Yeah, more business. Regal's the one. I'll take care of the rest. Okay, look, this is NXT. This is this, and tell us your story. Put it out there. Adjust to this. Minimize that. I feel that's what I feel that William Regal does. Like as a ring general with all the new upcoming talents that come to NXT. I'm pretty sure he told Nakamura, Joe, Sammy, everybody who what's the main roster, like, hey, look, do this, transition to that, but you can still do this. But and which they did, and they did a lot of fucking sick, insane matches, all of them in all the takeovers.
And for those of you listening and who don't know, William Regal's sons are young lions in New Japan.
Yes, that is right. They're young lions in New Japan, and I cannot wait to see what they bring to the, you know, to that roster. There's so many, and you know, we got to do top 5 New Japan matches. We are gonna have to do that one. We're gonna have to, and I think we might have the right people to discuss it with us about their top 5s. So I already know, and that's of course the ace of broadcasting. But you know, I'll talk to him. I'll probably get into him. But yes, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Top 5 NXT Takeover matches. I know that I'm pretty sure a lot of you are gonna be like, "But you missed this one. You missed this takeover." I know. We shrunk it down to this some size because it's overwhelmed how many takeover matches there is. But I'm like I said, we're going based upon what we feel that we're able to watch again and that we enjoyed it very, 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 very much dearly. But I know there's a lot of more matches out there. Comment right below on the video. Tell us your top 5 NXT Takeover matches. Tell us your top 5. Why not? You can add 2 honorable mentions. Comment right below. We would love to hear your feedback and see if you agree or disagree with us as well. Look, once again, thank you so much for tuning here to the top 5 picks of the weeks for Circle Debate. Enjoy Takeover 36 later on today. You'll see that. And, you know, we'll talk about that on the following week on, of course, episode 69. Yes. 69 is coming. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of reasons and I won't say contraptions. I gotta say I can't spoil any more surprises. I've said too much, Ivan.
Yeah, I know. You said too much. There you have it. See, because he has 69 reasons why, ladies and gentlemen, because
Indeed.
Matt Callis has 69 reasons why it's the era of the Switchblade. And he has those 69 reasons for you next week. So make sure.
I might have to become Matt Callis again just for that episode.
Yes, you're going to have to become Matt Callis for sure. That's for sure. I cannot wait.
Yes.
But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
He's definitely coming back. Get out of my brain. Definitely coming back.
Oh, man. That's right. That's right. So once again, enjoy your Sunday afternoon. Enjoy Takeover 36. And we will see you next time. But before we let you go, I'm going to let, of course, the Switchblade right here, the Arrow MGC, to close out the show. Tell them what do we do here, Mr. Matt Callis.
You know, we don't make podcasts. We make 69 years of history in the making. Because real men don't quit. They get fired. A bunch of Stanford stooges.